Hello there, Vanagon addicts. This is Ken Wilford here at Vanagon. I just wanted to do a short video today to talk about troubleshooting Vanagon fuel injection problems. People call me all the time with, Ken, my van won't start, my van won't run right, it runs good for a while, then it runs bad. And they think, you know, I have some kind of magical crystal ball that I can look into to tell them exactly what it is. Sometimes I can by the description and that kind of thing, but a lot of times you could do a lot of the work for me if you would follow these simple steps here. And this is a way for you to be able to kind of figure out some of these problems on your own, feel happy and good about yourself, and be able to move forward with your life. Okay, so the first thing you need to buy when you buy your Vanagon, if this is not in the Vanagon, go on my website. There is one of these books on there. It's brand new. It's not beat up like this one. This one, a poltergeist threw it off the shelf for some reason. I came in the office, it was sitting on the floor. Okay, it was on page 666, so that's how we know. But anyway, Vanagon Bentley Repair Manual. Okay, it's worth its weight in gold, and quite literally. All right, so anyway, once you get that, today we're going to talk about DigiJet. Okay, that's a 1.9 water boxer. Okay, you can see this beautiful display of it here. Boom. That didn't really do what I wanted, but whatever. And this is for the 1.9s. They use what they call the DigiJet system from 83.5 to 85. And it's a pretty nice system. It's pretty easy to access and troubleshoot. The thing that you're going to want to pay attention to is, if this camera can ever focus, is this right here. This is your computer. Okay, right here. Okay, it's behind the driver's side tail light, and it has this little plug that plugs into it, and you just pop this little metal clip on the top, push up on it, that'll release this beautiful plug right here. And this is your plug for your ECU. Okay, it has 25 pins in there, and I know it can look scary, but then you want to use the second item that you should buy after you buy your van, which is a multimeter. Okay, this is a multimeter, or also called a multimeter if you don't have weird ways of pronouncing things. And basically, you want to go to your local Radio Shack, right? I mean, they're everywhere. I'm joking, they're over. All right, but go to a store. Harbor Freight has them. Get a multimeter. Okay. Get one that does ohms, does DC volts. That's all that you actually need. Okay. Then what you do, okay, you see this picture here this is on page 2420. Okay. This picture at the top, it shows the plug. Do you see this little doodad here on this side? Do you see this? This is the wire, okay, harness. So if you're going to look at this plug like the way the book is looking at it, okay, you would look at it like that, because the harness thing is on the left side. If you could ever see it in the focus, there we go. The harness thing's on this side, and this little tab is on this side. So that's how you would want to hold it when you're troubleshooting it. Okay, that's how the pins are numbered. You won't see numbers on here, I don't think, unless you have super awesome eyesight, or you have a camera that stays in focus. I'm sorry about the camera, guys. So once you kind of know how to hold it, how to orient it, you will see on this picture the different numbers of the pins that actually matter. Why isn't every single one numbered? Because some of them are blanks and have nothing in them whatsoever. Then the next thing you want to do is come down here, and it will tell you a test. Okay, it has tests listed. If your van does not run or is having running problems and issues, I mean, I would encourage you to start at the top and go work your way down. Okay, and confirm what is going on with the car. This top one is Hall unit. Okay, with the here is how you do the check. You turn the ignition on. You touch the center wire of the connector at the ignition distributor to the ground. That's what they're talking about, is this thing right here. Alright, I'm fixing the cuss. There we go. This thing right here. Okay, you would ground that You could unplug it from the coil over here, ground it to like one of these little bolts or something. All right, while you are doing this test, and then it tells you what you're looking for, battery voltage or slightly less, okay? And you use 1 and 7. So basically, here's what's happening. You take these two leads, ORs, that's the technical term for it. You put one on number 1, you put the other one on number 7, bam, bam. And then you look at your reading, you set this dial to whatever, like this one's going to be volts, you set it to DC. You push the button so it lights up and gives you reading. So let's pretend I'm doing that, okay, on this, just so there's no questions about, I don't know how to stick pins into a plug. I understand. I know the skill levels that we're talking about here. So I'm going to try to do this with one hand. It's probably going to be terrible. But basically, you can see these little pins in here. Okay. I normally don't stick them in between where the pins of the computer go, because I don't want to like bend that. So instead, I'll do it above, so, or below. You'll actually above. See where it has this little indentation thing on each pin? I would just stick it in that part. So I had that in number 1. Then you just count over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stick the other one in there. And bam, you're ready to do your test. Okay? And your eyes will focus and stay focused, unlike this camera. And so that's how you would do that. Put the two leads in there like that. They'll actually stay. You have your thing where you can read it. Okay? I don't have the ignition on to do this test. This van is actually running perfectly great, so there's no real reason for me to test it. I'm just kind of giving you an example. So that's one test you would do. You know, there's another test that you would do here for your Temp sensor. Okay, again, you would just do the exact same thing I did, except put one pin here and 2, 1 and 7. You know, 7 is a ground. Spoiler alert, it's a ground. So it gets used a lot. So you could leave the one pin in 7, the other one put it in 2. For the Temp 2, let me do that one. Okay, that's a common one. Let me move this over. You can't see it because it's out of focus again. Shocker of a lifetime. Okay. Can I do it by looking at it? Without looking at it, bam. Yep. Okay, let me stick that in there. This one's still in 7. Okay, good. Now this one is a Ohms test. So you have to turn this to this thing that looks like Omega. And you'll see, okay, it comes up on here, 2.553 K ohms. Okay, so what is the specification here? It says resistance 20 degrees C, which is 68. It's about 68 today. Between 23 and 2700 ohms. Okay, so this is saying K ohms, even though it says 2.553. That means you basically just ignore the dot, and now it's 2559. So guess what? That is in specifications. Between 2300 and 2700. Perfect. Okay, like I said, this car was actually running good, so I'm not surprised that that has a good reading. Now, the good part about doing this and using the computer plug, like I said, you have this list of tests. There's only maybe 15 of them, and you can go through this in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, be done. And you will have eliminated a lot of things that could be a cause of the problem. You may have found the problem, okay, in just a few minutes. And it's very simple and easy, as you see. I mean, I'm not doing anything magical. I'm not saying magical spells or throwing holy water on this thing or nothing like that, okay? The other good part about doing this at the computer plug is that not only are you testing the sensors, you're also testing the wires as well. And if there's a problem, then the next step would be, like say you get a bad reading from this temp sensor, okay? The next step would be, okay, go to the temp sensor, which is down here by the water pump area. It's hard to see with a camera. Go to the temp sensor itself, unplug it, see what it's reading. If it's reading good at the sensor, then it means something's wrong with the wiring between the sensor and the computer. Okay, so there's a bad wire in there somewhere. Maybe the ground is bad, something like that. Okay, that is just an easy way to test this and kind of go in a organized fashion to figure out what is going on, you know, between the computer and the fuel injection harness and that kind of thing. One other thing I want to mention, a lot of problems in vans are caused by ground issues. As some of you guys know, there's supposed to be this grounding strap right here. See where the coil is? It comes out under the coil. There's a bunch of grounds here. It goes over underneath of this AC compressor and hooks to the cylinder head, kind of like right in this area right here. Again, it's hard to see it, but you can see it, you know, if you're here, if you can zoom down there, you can feel it with your hand, that kind of thing. If that grounding strap is not there, okay, that is a big deal. That is going to cause problems and issues, because now we have a good reading at the computer of this 2500, you know, ohms or 2600 ohms or whatever, but because the ground is bad, maybe the computer's not seeing it. Okay, so there's all kinds of, you know, these are just some ideas of things it can be, but I'll just tell you the truth. Most of the time when I use the book, sorry about that, bumped the camera. When I use the book and go through it in this way, in an organized fashion, and just do all the tests, eventually I usually find the problem right here. Okay, and 15 minutes later, I can get a new sensor or replace a wire or something, and the van is back on the road. Okay, so that's my little video for today, guys. If you liked it, please go ahead and like it, thumbs up. If you hated it and you said please go somewhere and die forever, thumbs down. If you please subscribe to our channel, and also, you know, that way you'll get notified whenever we do another video or a live stream or something like that. And please support us with your parts purchases. That's really what sustains us here on this channel, be able to do more videos. Now this is for the DigiFont, or I'm sorry, the DigiJet. Oh my gosh, I'm saying it wrong. This is for the DigiJet for the 1.9. You know, the 2.1, it's similar if you were doing that, but this computer is not located here. It's actually located underneath of the back bench seat over there. So yeah, so like, don't, if you have a 86 to 91, don't be like freaking out if you can't find your computer over here behind the taillight, because it don't live there. It lives under the back seat instead. But it's very similar. There's a different page in the Bentley for that one. I may do that in the future just so you can see it and not get confused. So that's it for today, guys. Hope you are having a great day, getting more smiles per gallon with your van. And if you have any comments on the video, please leave them as well. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a great one. Bye.